Good morning. Yeah, we welcome you to our investment summit for 2014. We'll start the first session of the program by inviting Mr. Abayomi Obabolujo to the platform.
Good morning. Unfortunately, there's not going to be a formal paper presentation, but do I have writing material here? If there is any topic as far as the stock market that I've not covered, or that I do not have materials for. But in the process of gathering together one material from one source, then add to another. I woke up this morning to meet my phones and my system on the floor. Apparently, maybe the kids slept and the system refused to open. It is not a big deal. Whether there's material or there's no material, I'd like to take you through the basic changes in the market of today and the best strategy, in my opinion, that I feel you could apply in order to get profitable equity trading, profitable results in the market. I'd like to say first that it is encouraging that you are still in the market. A lady came to my office a couple of weeks back to ask me the question, do people still buy stocks? Are the doors to the stock exchange still open? You wouldn't blame her. I've heard a lot of people blame me. Somebody still said to me on the Facebook a couple of days ago, when the market was crashing, why didn't I go on the radio and began to tell people to sell off and bail out of the market? And I said I wouldn't have done that. In this hall here, more than 2,000 people will gather to listen to me every Sunday. But how did I go on the radio to say, go and sell? You don't hear bad news from Abore now. All right? Now, the first that we need to understand is that, one, the market we are now is a market that has a totally different face from what it used to be. In other words, if you knew the market before 2008 and you do not bother to know the new market, you're not going to make anything out of it. There are lots of introductions, particularly in the last 2-3 years. So if you fail to put all those things into perspective, and you sit tight to strategize on how to make use of the new phase, you will discover that at the end of the day, two things. One, you just continue to revolve around the same spot, not making progress. Somebody told me a couple of days ago, he said, how will he go and invest in the market when he sees a stock making like 20% appreciation this week, only for the same stock to lose 18% of that appreciation the following week? And I said that is the dynamism. So if you don't understand such behavior, so you just continue to revolve around the same spot. Two, you lose money and you get easily discouraged. Let me quickly say this, that having lost money in the market between 2008, and probably last year, will not preclude you from losing money again. You could continue to lose money until you get discouraged totally, or you become so poor such that you don't have any money to even invest at all anymore. Right? So, now, the market as we are now is a market that is totally different from what we used to know. And let's start from 1, technology. If you don't understand the working of the current technology in the market, and you make use of it for your own benefit, you don't get anything out of the market. That is the sincere truth. Ambrose, I'm stopping when? Now, the previous technology, of course, for those of us that were in the market and you have followed the growth of the market, if you have been there like 20 years, I've been in the market for over 20 years consistently. I remembered that as at the time we joined, there was no technology of any form. So there would always be tables like this with stockbrokers seated. Then with a call-over chairman. And the way it was then, back in days, was the call-over chairman would say, Total. Then you will say, TRW-Stockbrokers bidding. Then Citico Trust is offering, CSS Stockbroker is bidding. It was pure manual. You talk about your price, then the call-over chairman on his own will just sit and say, okay, looking at all the quantities available, he will now say, CSS Stockbroker, you have 10 units. Then, City Code, you have 2 units. No technology. I remember that what we were doing back then was you wanted to do nothing, you do all those things, you take to the registrar, and it could take like 3 months for the certificates to come out. Then you want to verify a load, could take another 2 weeks. That was back in days. But you will recall in 1997 when CSS was introduced. And that was the beginning of technology in our market. Up to today, some people are yet to recover from the old system. There are so many stockbrokers in the market now that are not technology compliant. And so they are not making any progress. They want to bid, then they offer. Sometimes they mix the whole thing up. Now, when CSS was introduced in 1997, it was Horizon that they started with. But now, it is XGen. Because the company that wrote that software, Horizon, is no longer in existence. So, there is a basic maybe disadvantage or backwardness in that old technology. But you know that technology is a daily thing that keeps improving. So the competition in that industry is killing. So tight. So if you have a technology that you cannot update, then you cannot definitely compete, because now you talk about a global thing. So whatsoever you do in Nigeria, you want to compare with what obtains in South Africa. You want to compare with what obtains in UK, in US, and global market generally. So as we speak, it is XGen. What are the basic features of XGen as against Horizon, which was in use before now? Number one, the Horizon that was in use before now will give traders on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange access to see the total volume, either bidding or offering. So you could take your decision. You could bid and withdraw again because you have access. You know who is offering. You know who is bidding. For example, if you know that BGL is commonly associated, for example, with UBA, and you suddenly see under the old system horizon that, okay, UBA is the one bidding. BGL is the one bidding for UBA. You definitely will know that something must be in UBA to have attracted BGL securities. Everybody knows that today Tony Elumelu is behind Transcorp. And the only institution in the market that Tony will readily want to work with, if in case he's interested in Transcorp, is the same BGL or UBA Capital. So under the old system, if you just suddenly begin to see that this bid is coming in from UBA on Transcorp or from UBA Capital, you must definitely think that something is fishy. So what do? Even if you were not bidding for UBA before, you simply go because you now know that the major people that should are now interested. If suddenly too you see that UBA is being sold, is being offered by either UBA Capital or BGL or Transcorp is being offered for sale by UBA Capital or by BGL, you know that something is also fishy. So what do? You simply, how many units do I have here before this thing gets, I get hooked here? You simply go and buy. But the new system does not allow that. In the new system, you only see what you are putting in. You do not have access to what the other fellow is doing until after the market. After the market is closed. So if UBA is the one bidding for, if BGA is the one bidding for UBA, you just know that yes, somebody is bidding. But you might not even have access to the exact unit. But you are just there. You know what you are doing. You don't know what the generality of the market is doing. That is one of the features of exchange. So there is a measure of secret. Unlike the general openness that obtained under the old system, the horizon. But again, it is like that in most matured markets of the world now because they also make use of exchange as we speak. Right? That is one. Number two. Under the new platform, the exchange, there are two pre-market opens that exist as against one pre-market open that existed under the horizon. Under the horizon, everybody just goes there before the market opens. Everybody goes there. You key in your trades. The price you are looking at, the quantity you are interested in, you put them in. But with the new system, there is the pre-market open for the general market. Then there is another pre-market open for the market makers. So if under the old system, you could say you are interested in, say for example, Union Bank, the market open. It closed yesterday, 10 naira for the sake of argument. Then this morning, you are interested, 10 naira 50 kobo. You came. It is possible, or it was possible for you, when you view what others were interested in and at what prices, you could still change. But with the way things work in this current market, so long as you get in there, you key in your order, you cannot change it again. The only institutions that have the opportunity of changing shortly before the market in the recess of it open are the market makers. So that is why you see that if you have taken time, the same thing to market close. So these days, before the market close for everybody to everybody at the same time, whether you are a market maker or you are just a stockbroker or whatever, the market closes to everybody at the same time. But now there is pre-market close and the real market close. So if you are a broker, just a floor trader or whatever, maybe you are also doing remote trading, the market will have closed first to you, at least for I think, is it 10 or 15 minutes or 3 minutes or thereabout. The closing prices you see are the prices as determined by market makers. So they have the opportunity to close now the market the way they want it closed. Now also they have the opportunity to open the market the way they want it open, which suggests that as we speak, under the new technology extent, market makers are giving certain opportunities above the other floor traders. Please excuse me, I need to just facts. We need to understand about the new technology. I like also to say this, that the stock exchange is, I don't know how soon they're going to start that. They are licensing, or they are going to start to license some other sub-brokers, such that I am not a broker, Daddy is a broker, then he's licensed, but the new system under this new dispensation will enable me to apply for probably sub-brokerage license from the stock exchange, and then I will trade under you, but they will give me my own workstation, my own platform, just as they have given you either in your office. They could come, install it for me in my office, and I could trade the same way you'll be trading, though I will still need to pass through you. So it gives everybody better opportunity than what obtained during the horizon. That is technology. Right? Now, if you don't understand technology in this market, you can't make it. When technology is improving and you are not also improving yourself technologically, you won't make anything. You will not make anything. It's not a cause. So when the stock exchange is improving on its technological base, so it behoves on every investor, everybody, whether you are in my village, whether you are operating from Kafanchan, whether you are operating from anywhere, the first principle for which you can be sure of profitable investment as we speak now is for you to be what? Technology compliant. To improve yourself on technology. Because the stock exchange, the market you belong to, is now a technology-driven market. So you must of necessity be a technology-driven individual to make the best out of the market. That is the first. I use two phones. This is the phone I use. At any point in time I use it. I'm not going to use a phone that is more than maybe 30 or 40,000 naira for my level. Completing all those things on my computer, I should have just transferred here. And now I could have access to everything. So everywhere you are, you can access your account. Everywhere you are, you can communicate with your under the new stockbroker. So now, getting on the internet using telephones that will enable you to get access to the internet on second basis is not a luxury for any investor under the new market, but a necessity. So if you have 100,000 naira investment, I challenge you, go and buy 70,000 naira telephone that has a big screen. Every second, you must know what obtains. You must have access. For example, if you click, I'm still coming to that, if you click on Bloomberg.com, you come to the Nigerian market. Information as per real time, as the market is changing, Bloomberg data and charts are also changing. So somewhere across the ocean is accessing your market real time. You are waiting till the end of day to ask your broker, what did my stock do today? You can't get the best of returns. That is why I said changing phase of the market. The market you are in now is different from the market we were in 2008. That is first. So you need to understand how to apply technology to get the best of returns. But one thing that technology will do, as you would agree, technology naturally increases competition. Via accessibility. That is one thing that that technology will do. Technology will, of necessity, technology will enhance accessibility. And when accessibility, unhindered accessibility, is ensured, then what follows is competition. What am I trying to say? The same information you have on the market today, as a matter of fact, some information you do not have on the market today, somebody in UK has. Somebody in Russia has. Somebody in London has. Somebody in New York has. Somebody in Chicago has. The same information. Why? Because technology will make a system become a global thing. Information about the Nigerian market as we speak now is widespread across the globe. So the kind of money we see that are moving equities on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange are not just money from the local market alone. In other words, every 10 kobo you put into the market is in competition with a man, a fellow investor like you in America, a fellow investor like you in the United Kingdom, a fellow investor like you in other European countries. Therefore, for you to get the best returns in equity investment under this changing phase, you need what I call real-time information, access to real-time information. Real-time information, real-time information. Now, I give you an example. Because so many things have changed in this market. For example, under the new technology, before, when companies release their quarterly reports or audited reports, what they do is to send to the stock exchange. But in the Old Testament, as far as our market is concerned, what obtained was that you are the managing director of First Bank. You send your result to the stock exchange. Some of the people at the stock exchange will have received it, saying that maybe your result carries bonus issue, your earnings very possibly, knowing fully well that there's no way when this result is released to the market, the price is bound to adjust positively to that result, what do they often do? They keep it to themselves. One day sometimes, could mean a lot. 2 days sometimes, could mean a lot. They keep it. It happened to a quoted company. For 2 weeks, its result was released, and the stock exchange did not post anything. For 2 solid weeks, the stock exchange did not post anything. So when he called me, we had a meeting, and I said to him, okay, there's a way out. Just go ahead, having released the results to them, and since they have refused to do anything, you go ahead to the pages of newspaper, release your results. That same morning, of course, you know that papers would have been out 7 o'clock on the vendor, sometimes earlier than that. The same day that the results appeared on the pages of newspaper, it was also released by the exchange. But for goodness sake, for those 2 weeks, but that was why the man called me. He just saw suddenly that activities on his equity began to increase. Our prices were also moving positively, which suggests that some people had started making use of that result as against the reality of the market. But under the new dispensation, a platform has been created. So you don't need to now say you have taken it to the stock exchange before. No, as it used to be. Just send your results to that platform. So anytime, any day, even me, if I know it, I can go there intermittently to check whether a new result has arrived, whether a new result has not arrived. The same way the man in UK would access the same platform. So if you are not equipped, others have access to that information. You are just waiting here without having access to that information. So as we speak, information about the Nigerian market is widespread. I was consulted by the stock exchange, what are they to achieve? Mobilize grassroots savings. We're to run program in all the states and in virtually all the major languages, and in some places, some tribes. Not even tribe now, dialect. That is their reasoning, that is their thinking. So they want to ensure that information on the Nigerian market is obtainable per second. So if under the new dispensation you do not have access, I give you an example. Transport has been moving now for how many weeks? If I ask you why is transport moving and you are not able to tell me convincingly, you are not in the market, you are just wasting your time. Before transport began to move, you should know. 40 oil moved in our Korokoro eye from less than 10 naira to how much? You should have known why the stock price was moving and what the possibilities were, because some people knew even if you didn't know them. That is the state the market has gotten to. It is not enough for you to say buy me 40 oil. No, there must be the information, there must be the reason. You must be informed, you must be equipped. What does that suggest to us? Now, this is no longer the market where you will call me, Obabolujo, what do I buy? And that is the limitation of so many of us. You have a stockbroker that has maybe like 3,000 clients to attend to. And all the 3,000 clients are calling him, what do I buy? So he will tell you, go and buy a shaka, go and buy a shaka, go and buy a shaka. All of them go and buy, because that's what he knows. The same information he has, he will pass. You cannot benefit. And that is why up to today, even in the new market, some people are still losing. And they will lose. Because Ambrose, waiting make I buy. No, the market has not beyond that level.
Who told you that the kind of information that Ambrose has you cannot have? As a matter of fact, you should have more information than him. You call your stockbroker. What do I buy? No! Because the stockbroker doesn't have to hedge. So the market is there. The same information he has access to. The only set of people that I can say yes, they have the mind to be privy to further privileged information are the council members of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Because certain decisions